Hey folks, Brian Blessing coming to you from Las Vegas. Time to get ready for another PGA Tour event, post-US Open, and what a great tournament that was at Gary Woodland. Clutch on Sunday. Brooks Koepka right there. Koepka comes all across the country to Cromwell, Connecticut, TPC River Highlands. He's going to be the favorite in the Travelers Championship. He's on the board at 7-1. Koepka talks about it's easier for him to win majors than just PGA Tour stops. He's got that laser focus. But one thing about going through that gauntlet, it's mentally exhausting. Koepka, phenomenal player, 7-1. I would think a letdown would be in the cards for him this week. Patrick Canley, back when he made his pro debut, he shot a 60 on TPC River Highlands, playing great golf. He's on the board at 10-1. The one thing about this tournament is that the last 5 years, somebody that played in the US Open actually won the event. So there's that. Jordan Spieth's on the board at 16-1. Paul Casey, 16-1. I would take a look at Casey. Had a great final round when he was paired with Webb Simpson in the U.S. Open and had a 4-shot lead in the final round last year and squandered the lead. Bubba Watson got his 3rd win on this course last year. Casey coming in pretty good form. Casey, 16-1, looks really good to me, as does Francesco Molinari. He's on the board. Was 20-1. He's down to 18-1. Ball striking, I thought Molinari, 3 of the 4 days at Pebble Beach was just spectacular. And every time he tees it up, to me, he's a danger. But there are big stories in this tournament, and there are big numbers that are worthy of consideration. In this space, I've talked about Sungjae Im a lot. I think this kid can win this year. This is the kind of event, the air out of the balloon after a major. I think Im can contend. But there are 2 great stories, and I would not discount either guy's chances. 2 pros making their debut. Viktor Hovland, the low amateur in the U.S. Open and the Masters. And last week, he was great. Stared down stud pros right out of the gate. And then into the weekend, I played him at nice plus prices and matchups both days. Coming out of Oklahoma State, he broke Jack Nicklaus's scoring record for an amateur in the U.S. Open. And he's coming in with a lot of hullabaloo. And why not? I mean, from Oklahoma State, national champion. And I think that was a real positive experience for him. So he played the U.S. Open, played great, hits it a mile. The kid's fearless. On the board at 60-1. I think I'd be taking a long, hard look at Viktor Hovland. His Oklahoma State teammate makes his pro debut here, and that's Matt Wolfe. We saw him as an amateur earlier in the year. The kid can hit it a mile. They kind of compare him to Cameron Champ. I think Matt Wolfe is a player that can absolutely make some noise this week at TPC River Highlands. Those pro debuts, it's a big ask. But you know what? I think in all sports, kids are so much more prepared to come in, make contributions on a football field, a hockey game, or a basketball, whatever it is. And in golf, these guys are just flat out fearless. So I'd look at those 2 kids, Hovland and Matt Wolfe, as guys that have a realistic shot to be on the leaderboard this weekend at a big number. But the star players to me, Casey and Molinari, and the price play includes Sungjae Im. Those will be my plays this week for the PGA Tour stop at TPC River Highlands in Cromwell, Connecticut. Always good to be with you here at bangthebook.com. Listen to the Sports Betting Podcast with our buddy Adam Burke. You can follow me on Twitter at Brian Blessing. As always, we invite you to follow along right here at Bang the Book.